So I'm reviewing for the Unit 4 test tomorrow. This is actually the third topic I'm going to review with you. Definitely going to be on the test. You have to be able to factor with the GCF, which means greatest common factor, and solve this equation. So GCF just means what is the greatest common factor that can go into both terms. So we have a 2x squared and a minus 18. Those are my two terms. So just looking at the coefficients 2 and 18, I know that 2 could definitely go into both. This one has an x term, this one doesn't. So x does not go into both. Only 2. That's the greatest number that can go into both. So we're going to factor out the GCF and write the remaining terms in the parentheses. So factoring is like multiplying in reverse, okay? It's the opposite of multiplying. So we're going to pretty much be dividing, all right? So what do you have to multiply 2 by to get 2x squared? X squared. So we'll write x squared in there. And then what do I have to multiply 2 by to get negative 18? Negative 9 or minus 9. So you could check yourself by thinking, if I were to distribute this 2 into x squared minus 9, will I get 2x squared minus 18? Well, let's see. 2 times x squared is 2x squared, and 2 times minus 9 is minus 18. So we know we're good. We're not done factoring, though, because we have to solve. So x squared minus 9 is called a difference of perfect squares. We can think of it as x plus 3 times x minus 3 equals 0. So we're done factoring or simplifying, and now we're ready to solve. Solving just means to determine the value of x that makes this equation true. This equation equals 0. So we need to find the value of x that makes this equation equal 0. So according to the zero product rule, anything times 0 is 0. So any of my factors, if they equal 0, then this whole thing will equal 0. So there's only two factors with x in it, x plus 3 and x minus 3. So there's two possible values of x. If x equals negative 3, this factor, x plus 3, will equal 0. And if x equals positive 3, this factor will equal 0. So if x equals positive 3 or negative 3, these each of those factors would equal 0, making the whole function equal 0. So there's actually two values. And it makes sense for a quadratic equation because, you know, they tend to hit the x-axis twice. You know what I'm saying? So I can already tell if I had to graph this thing, this would be negative 3. That would be one of my zeros because zeros also means x-intercept. And this would be positive 3. I can also tell that my y-intercept will be negative 18. Because at x equals 0, this whole thing would be 0. 2 times 0 squared minus 18 is negative 18. Just a little extra information for you. So yeah, that's it. That's factoring out the GCF and then solving. Make sure you use the zero product rule. It makes a lot of sense. Okay?